What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it has begun. You're going to have celebrities, entertainers, and former fighters, current fighters, managers, promoters, everybody that you can think of is now going to have their prediction and their breakdown and their thoughts on the highly anticipated, undisputed welterweight showdown between undefeated, unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Errol the True Spence Jr., who holds a record of 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9", with a 72-inch arm reach, as he's set to take on undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford holds a record of 39 wins, no losses, no draws, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. This is an interesting fight, to say the least. This is a 50-50 fight, to say the least. And everybody has been anticipating and clamoring to see this fight, to see who is exactly the best fighter, not only in the welterweight division, but who is the best fighter in the world. The winner of this fight is going to be considered the best fighter in the world, hands down, point blank, and period. So with that said, legendary, retired, Hall of Fame, iconic, superstar, legend, Iron Mike Tyson, former undisputed heavyweight world champion, the youngest heavyweight world champion in boxing history, Iron Mike Tyson, he says he's picking Terence Bud Crawford to beat Errol Spence, because when he saw Terence Bud Crawford handle two-time welterweight world champion, retired future Hall of Famer Showtime Shawn Porter in their November 2021 showdown, to which Terence Crawford got a 10th round stoppage victory, dropping Shawn Porter a few times, and then Shawn Porter's father, trainer, manager Kenny Porter saw enough and waved the white towel. So he said Mike Tyson, the way he saw Terence Crawford handle Shawn Porter compared to when Errol Spence fought Shawn Porter September of 2019, and it was a seesaw battle fight, and they went back and forth. And Errol Spence, it was a close fight. Some people even thought that Shawn Porter was up on the cards in that fight. And then Errol Spence, he got a knockdown in the 11th round, and that seemingly was the difference in the fight. That was the go-ahead points that Errol Spence needed to be victorious in the fight, and he won in a unification bout. Now, obviously, everybody's going to point to the fact that they fought some years later. Errol Spence fought Shawn Porter when he was a world champion 2 years prior in a unification bout. They fought in 2019. Terence Crawford fought him in a title defense in 2021. So everybody's going to point to that fact, and not to mention Shawn Porter is on record stating that he was already contemplating retirement after the Errol Spence fight, win, lose, or draw. Right? He was already had in his mind that he may, call it quits at that point in time. But he said then the possibility to fight Terence Crawford arose, and he started to manifest it in his head, and he started to, believe that, this is a fight that can possibly happen. He stated that he never actually, thought about fighting Terence Crawford. But as time went on and Terence Crawford became a world champion at welterweight, and he was campaigning in the division, then it became a reality in his mind. He started to manifest, that fight in his mind, and he said that he had one more fight in his mind that he had to do, and was the Terence Crawford fight. And according to even Shawn Porter and his father, that he didn't give it his all in the training camp. He decided he wanted to do things his way. He changed things up. He said he wanted to preserve his body for the Terence Crawford fight. So, Terence Crawford don't get the full credit he deserves in fighting and beating Sean Porter, because there's a lot of different things that took place that people just don't simply give him the same credit. And the best version of Sean Porter we saw was the version that fought Errol Spence. That was like the best version of Sean Porter we've ever seen. But he had a great showing of himself against Terence Crawford as well, because people thought that he was winning the fight against Terence Crawford. Before Terence Crawford stopped him, remember, in his corner, people was telling Terence Crawford he was down on the cards. He was down on the cards, and Terence Crawford looked at his corner and said, "I'm down? How?" And then he got the 2 knockdowns and the stoppage victory. But prior to that, people thought that it was another seesaw battle fight. But that's a testament to Sean Porter, okay? Everybody used Sean Porter as a barometer, a measuring stick to who would win between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. And it's like a lot of people take the fact away that Sean Porter is a great fighter, okay? Sean Porter arguably has the best resume in all of boxing at the time before he retired, and he arguably has the best footwork in all of boxing, and he's relentless and the best durability and stamina. So that was the first time we saw Sean Porter on the canvas multiple times, and the first time in his career that he was stopped. So it's not like, Sean Porter is a walk in the park. He's a tough out for every opponent. But because some people use the fact that Sean Porter is such a tough out and such a good fighter and a great fighter, that, they use that to measure, if Errol, who did better against Sean Porter in his style, because he's relentless. He's going to press you. He's going to push you every second of every minute of every round, okay? He's going to test you. Sean Porter never stops coming. It's like a machine. And his stamina and his durability is on 1,000. So some people use Sean Porter as a way to say, well, if you could do that with Sean Porter, you can do that to X, Y, and Z fighter. And I believe that that's the angle that Mike Tyson is coming from. But some people downplay Sean Porter's abilities and his talent. And so with that said, I think that, the fight with Sean Porter is a good measurement stick. But at the end of the day, you can't put too much stock in how they fought Sean Porter, because it could have been 2 different versions of Sean Porter, right? There was 2 years later. It's a difference when Sean Porter is the champion, not want to relinquish his belt in a unification about 2 years prior, and Sean Porter was being told how he was avoiding and ducking Errol Spence and how he was going to get ran over as the champion, right? So he was super motivated. And then when you're dealing with Terence Crawford, it was sort of a push-pull type of fight where Terence Crawford in the beginning wasn't open to taking a fight with Sean Porter because of their close friendship. And then it got pushed, and even Terence Crawford stated, don't let the people push you into this fight, because they want to see how you fare against, how I fare against you, like Errol compared me to Errol Spence. So this is a fight that Terence Crawford wasn't truly open to in the very beginning. But then, he gave in and conceded to the idea, and then he fought him and he beat him. So, it's very difficult to compare the two. But stylistically wise, Sean Porter, in my opinion, gave Terence Crawford an extremely tough fight, just like he gave Errol Spence an extremely tough fight. The difference is Terence Crawford got the 2 knockdowns where Errol Spence only got 1. And Sean Porter actually got up from all 3 of the knockdowns. It's just that Kenny Porter saw enough and waved the white towel. But in all reality, Sean Porter wasn't knocked out. He got up in all of them, okay? So all 3 knockdowns, Sean Porter got up. He wasn't brutally knocked out. He wasn't discombobulated, wobbling, and his legs was noodles. No, he got up. He was frustrated. Even in the second knockdown with Terence Crawford, he was punching the canvas because he was frustrated that he let himself be in that position. But Kenny Porter said he saw enough because of what took place in training camp. And he didn't feel like Sean Porter gave everything he had in training camp. And so he called it off. So Mike Tyson says Terence Crawford manhandled Sean Porter. That's not the case. He said the way he handled Sean Porter, that's not the case. They both was in extremely tough fights with Showtime Sean Porter. Point blank and period. But now it starts. Now the ball is going to roll for this July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena showdown. And I can't wait. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.